Alright, so normally I would start streaming to do what I do best, which is sort of make shit up as I go along and somehow force it to work. The trouble is, um, I'm fucked. You see, Helgen over here is the next. She's the next like character that I'm going to animate. There's a problem with that, however. She's a snake, so she's long. She's big and she's long. There are several reasons I went for the redesign. Number one is because snakes are cool. Number two is because, well, I wanted to try out like a radically different formation. I wanted to, see if I could get away with it. And I think I have. The hair was the main problem. You see, if she's going to have a long tail... See, originally Helgen had her tail sort of like a scarf to hide the tits. So I had to use the hair instead this time. As you can see, getting that to work was tough. That was the first hurdle. However, I did it. I won, right? As you can see, completely modest. When I simulate it, I don't know if it's going to stay that way, but that's what clever lighting is for. The issue, however, is that I cannot, for the fucking life of me, figure out how I'm gonna animate her without making a complete tit of myself. I've looked everywhere on YouTube how to rig a snake, and they all seem dead set on curve paths. Now that might work, except for the fact that Helgen has, an upper half, which obviously I need to animate. So I'll explain the problem. So, oh, hang on a minute. Carmen's just sent me a DM. Okay, hang on a minute. I'm gonna fix this. Is my mic not working? Okay, how's that? Is that better? Carmen? Carmen? Is Carmen, send me a DM. Right. Well. Most people seem to. Right. Well, I'll just sit like this. I'll just move closer. I don't really know what's going on with it. Blurry. I don't think that's the. Right. Anyway. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to the other fucking view because that's just not gonna work. Okay. So this is where we're at right now. We have Helgen here, and we have a rig set up. Carmen. Oh, Carmen's just told me that she had it on mute. What? Okay, so this is the issue I'm having. We've got the we've got several bones here that cover most of the movement. So we've got the head, right? We've got the sort of upper body, arms, middle, that sort of center of mass, and then we've got the sort of lead bone here, which is going to control the lower half of the tail. What I would like is for this controller here to guide where the rest of the tail goes, so these individual sections follow automatically, because as you can see, I've managed to rig up the tail in such a way that it follows these controllers. The only issue that I'm having is animating all of this without fucking up is going to be a bit of a problem. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So if I'm actually doing this stream, not for to like show you guys how I'm progressing, because I'm progressing awfully, but does anyone know how to do this? Oh yeah, that's it. That's why I'm here. You thought I was gonna, you know, do it myself? No. Is there any way that you can get a bone in Blender to guide the rest? Silver Wings Dragon has sent a thing. Thank you very much, by the way. Been a huge fan for a long time. Thanks for sharing your world and stories with us all. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now help me, okay? I've already got inverse kinematics on this. Where is it? Okay, yeah. So, you know, arms, upper body, fine. All sorts of control here. Not an issue. As you can see, you know, we've got full control. You know, nothing is gonna escape. Nothing can stop us here. You know, we can do whatever we want. You know. See, this is how I'm gonna have her like hunt. You know, and even if you're far away, like over here somewhere, she can jump. That's not the issue, okay? You know, the animal itself is perfectly designed. The trouble I'm having is how the fuck do I get it to move? Where's Wacko? Does he have an idea? So are there any suggestions? I've got to be careful because people are telling me that I sound far away. I don't know why. A completely new guy, thank you very much. Once you're done with the book, how will the YouTube series pan out? Like, will the kids remember what happened in the book or start fresh? Oh, well, if you're referring to Satellite City, that's sort of like that's not canon to the book. Once I finish the first one, I am gonna do some more live action stuff as a break. But yeah. Some people are saying that I sound quiet. Some people are saying that I sound fine. So you know, the common denominator is there's nothing I can do on this side. Okay, so. It's not the actual animation of the snake that's worrying me. I've got to get okay. How do I do an example here? I'll show you what I mean. So if I select her, let's do something here. Let's go on a little field trip here. I'll explain my conundrum. So let's say we've got her here. and then let's say she goes this way, you know, and then maybe that way, and then maybe this way. I'm simplifying a bit. Let's tie these up to frames that are like, so let's say 15, 30, 45, yeah, and then let's end it on 60. Yeah, let's do that, and let's sort of stretch that out to about 100 frames, right? So this is the motion she's doing, right? As you can see, that's brilliant 10 out of 10 animation. You know, Netflix, give me a fucking call. But that aside, the issue, of course, is, you know, once I've animated the top half of the body and I've got her flowing and moving and gesticulating and all that stuff, you've got the tail here. So if I use this as an example, what you want is a delay on the tail to make it look like it's actually flowing. So say if I do 5 here, 10 here, 15 here, is that gonna work? It's a bit slow. Let's try 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Do you see what I'm doing? 14, 16. Okay, so do you see how it's sort of delayed a bit here? You can't. I haven't done these yet, but do you see that sort of flow? It's slightly delayed a bit. That's what I'm after, but for the whole tail. Only so I don't have to do it manually, because yes, it is tedious. Now, I believe that there's a way of achieving that process automatically. I believe in my brain that there's a way. Where was that up to? 16? Okay, I'll finish this to illustrate it. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, shit, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, so, do you see that? Can I move the set down a bit here? See that sort of flow? Now, that is the sort of overall... It's a bit simplified, it's a bit lazy, but that's the sort of look I want to achieve, only 10 times better in the animation department. That's that. So now that my point has been illustrated, now maybe we can make some progress. So the thing that I need is to not manually do that. You know, to not move every single bone individually, because in the animation I want her like sort of looping around and winding and all of that shit, you know, all the good stuff. Everyone's just saying I'm gonna have to manually do it. Is there really no way? Because I can't use a curve track, because that would throw off the rest of the rig, because she's got an upper half. The tails on Yeshua, Carmen, were not the same thing, because they're just like tendrils that you can animate the base and add on a jiggle bone and just have it sort of flap around, and it looks like a tail, because that's what tails do. They swing and sway, and you know, so yeah, that's what I'm up to. What if you make invisible physical objects and make the trail follow? Yeah, that's what most people do for snakes. The problem is she's got an upper half, you know, and if I'm animating her sort of gesturing and posing and, you know, doing all this stuff, that tail's got to follow from the head, really, you know? She's got to, you know, she's going to be doing all this shit, giving it fucking this. And that tail's got to follow through that. And if I give it to a curve, if I do a path, a motion path, it's going to be following the motion path, not her. Because animation's all about following through. So, yeah. Do the hidden block thing. You follows for good. Oh no, like, for those of you saying add a sway to the hips, like, yeah, I mean, that sort of goes without saying. The example I just gave is very rough. Like, obviously, when I actually animate her for real, you know, it's not going to be done by just dragging the whole body. Obviously, you're going to have, you know, more effort put into it. Oh, here we go, wacko. Spline inverse kinematics. And if you already are, you can bind multiple spline vertices to a single bone, so you can rotate the bone to the to curve the tail. Unfortunately, it's a bit difficult to explain through text. Here we go. Sunrise has sent me a DM with the snake tutorial. Unfortunately, I've already seen that snake tutorial, and it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna work for Helgen, to be honest. You know, so like, I mean, obviously, if you were gonna do this with any amount of effort, you know, you'd sort of. Ooh, where's she going? You know, you'd add a bit more fucking motion in there. The issue is the tail, which I'm not too happy about. I don't even know I'm bothering to finish that, because it's let me delete all this. Right. See, all I want to do is have this one here, or even this one, guide the rest of it, and then the rest just follows through naturally. Like, I can't believe there isn't a way. Fuck. Well, any ideas? A jiggle bone. Trouble is collision. Bones, to my knowledge, cannot collide. If I move this down, it'll just clip through. So if I do a jiggle bone, this tail is just going to sort of jiggle down and clip right through. You know. See, if I move that up, then what you'd do is you'd have this. Like, where is it? Whoa, there she goes. Yeah, and then you'd have the head, you know. Where is she? ears or something. Where's the other one? Give it to me now. I'm just giving people an example of how I would ideally approach this. So the arms. Excuse me. Right. Just give a bit more on the ears here. Hang on a minute. Yes. What? Right, so a quick little animation like that, right? Where she's just sort of doing that. Let's say that's part of the thing, right? That's how I want to animate it. I want to start with the top half, right? I want to start with the top half, worry about all that shit, and then basically do the tail. Basically do the tail afterwards. So now we move down here. Where was it? Okay. You know, so let's say she moves like this, and then she goes down. So move that down a bit. And then she goes up. So move that up a bit. Then bounce. Right. And then you'd have the rest of the tail. Yeah, so you want to avoid that. Right. Trouble is now that we've got what you could even do actually is sort of give it a bit of a, if you wanted to. Bit of a sway here. Right. And then do that. Follow that through. Delete that. Right, see that? There we go. See, do you see how the tail is starting to actually move pretty nicely? You know, we got it coming up. This is still rough, by the way, so obviously, you know, a bit more effort will be put into it on the final thing. But now, of course, the issue is fucking everything else, right? Now, all I'm saying is if there was just a way for, see this bone here, the way this one moves slightly, for these to basically copy that movement, only offset it a bit, you know what I mean? So I don't have to go through and animate every fucking single point, you know? I think that would be shit. I think that would take too long. We got Wacko here again. I have an example of. I'll download that in a bit and have a look. So I need yeah. I need No, what I need to figure this out. While we're waiting, what we'll do is we'll see how the hair's going, because obviously she's got hair now. Well, she always had hair, but now she's got fucking like long hair. So, how long's that animation for? It's okay. We might as well just run a little experiment here. Tail. Oh no, sorry, that's the wrong one. There we go. Delete bake. So that's going now. It's it's tough. I'm just. Is that done? Hang on. Okay, so there's her hair going. I tell you what, I think the gravity's a bit slow on that. Gravity. Let's double the gravity. See what happens. Then again, it is going in slow motion, so yeah, this is all with the hair. Oh, the music is Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. She won't exactly. It's more of an instrumental piece. The goal is to have quotes of her from the book, sort of playing. Okay, that's a bit better. Yeah, so I'll have to actually I think that's fine. The stiffness might be a bit too high, I think, but you know, generally I think it should be good. You know, there's going to be a lot of pause moments in the you know, I'll have to try and use the lighting in a clever way. Fuck. Yeah, so Landy Hayes, overcome, man, you can do it. Respect for your craft. Thanks. I think there's a way. I think there's definitely a way of doing it, you know. If I press the render button, if I just press like the in, oh god, yes, see, there you go. The hair's not thick enough. They just broke right through. Yeah, the hair is a lot thicker in the final render, obviously. So yeah, Helgen flashing the stream a bit there, but it's just probably instantly demonetized. Okay, I'm gonna. Where's it? Where's my ginger beer? Ooh, here we go. I'm gonna make a cup of tea in a bit. Yeah. Well, there we go. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So, Helgen in the book is a whisper of Oliver Cost, which basically means she's a government MP. Focused. Oliver Cost is the voice of material. His job is to handle resources, and so Helgen is essentially an accountant and an economist. she's got quite a few, you know, strings to pull, and she's quite ambitious. I wanted to make her more of an interesting design. Just because I thought, why not? I mean, I don't think I have. Yeah, Oliver Cost. I've been thinking about where is Oliver Cost? Yeah, here he is. Where's the thing that describes him? Yeah, Oliver Cost was a spindly fellow of 12 feet with massive silver owl eyes nestled into the palest face of all time. His hair was curly and as black as his lips. Oliver had the likeness of a haunted puppet, the sort that whispered foul things from beneath the beds of children. His fingers were bony, his tail even bonier, and the markings around his eyes looked to be silver makeup washed to his cheeks by tears. Oliver wore a black and gold booze coat that tickled his naked ankles. His trousers and waistcoat were grey, but his shirt was a pearly white. Around his neck was a flutter lace, with a black collar and silvery frills. So, that's Helgen's boss, essentially. He's a pretty interesting guy. But Helgen herself is a whisper. He is a dapper guy, you know. But yeah, Helgen's animation test is the is the last character animation test before I start work on the book trailer. Can I do book excerpt readings? I suppose. Who do you want to hear about? I can give a little bit. Nothing spoilery though, obviously. Fuck, I just wish I could get this tail done. You know? That's the thing. It's yeah. Everyone's suggesting different characters. Felicity. Let me think. Okay, I think I could do a bit of Felicity. I'll do Quinn as well, because I think they share a scene, and it's not too spoilery, and I think it might be intriguing. Where is Quinn's thing? There it is. Excuse me. What button? What button am I trying to press here? Okay, I'll since Helgen's just like vibing, and we're just trying to figure that out. I'll read some stuff from Felicity. This is from chapter 9, part 6. My chapters are in parts, so we'll have to. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Stream isn't necessarily done. I still want to figure out Helgen's tale, but some people are asking for a little excerpt of the book. Oh. Oh dear. on a minute. Is it back? Are we back? Have we returned? Are we good? Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'll read a bit, and then we can try and get this snake thing done. So this is from chapter 9, part 6. Part 6. The Curious Quinn. Quinn, voice of records, was an educated mind, driven by competence and a creative nature and an eye for details. A master in the field of linguistics, mathematics, physiology, physics, and literature, Quinn was a true student of sombre, ages of wisdom hidden behind a youthful face. Quinn had 2 legs, 4 arms, 6 ears, 6 eyes, a fluffy tail, and 2 antennas sprouting from his head. His face was mothish, fuzzy, and emotional. His eyes were fogged in pale blue, providing only a blurred image of the world about him. His ears, however, were long and sharp, decorating his head like a royal headdress. Far from the visual world, Quinn played in a reality of chemicals, sounds, and smells. His fur was a blend of purples, all except his pink, furless stomach. He dressed in the Locketthian fashion with a silky raven coat, clamped together at his chest with 4 Aurelian locks. His trousers were dark, deep-pocketed, and held at the waist with chains, a collection of keys fastened to the left. Through 6 full-moon lenses, Quinn squinted, running his dainty fingers across the splayed tome before him. Sat alone in a quiet corridor, the walls adorned with paintings of history, ceilings exquisitely carved, the voice worked his way through the text. "Quinn, sir," said a female colleague, pretty and lean. "You're wanted." His voice was smooth and kind. "I'm sure it can wait. Wexel insists you come at once." Quinn pulled his misty eyes from the tome and removed his spectacles. Is the stream still going? I assume the stream's still going. I think we're still going. Just want to make sure. Talking into the night. Okay. Quinn pulled his misty eyes from the tome and removed his spectacles. "Where is she?" "Grendelwood reading room." He sprang to his feet, brushing his coat free of chalk dust. Lead on. Voices are basically heads of departments. They control city sectors. Whispers work for the voices. They are basically government MPs. It was a short walk to the reading room, a pleasant stroll through decorated corridors across a picturesque Winnewardian bridge, a cascade of water roaring behind. The moisture clung to his fur, washed his senses in flavour. Every inch of the thumb was something to be experienced, and every detail told a story. Grendelwood Reading Room was a small, humble collection of books and cosy furniture, a quiet place of study for the hungering mind. The Sombrarian style warmed all who entered with its rich wooden textures, leather couches and dark metal ladders climbing up to the high shelves. "Voice Quinn," greeted Wexel, standing at the end of a long desk. She blended with the room surprisingly well, her stony temperament considered. "Voice Wexel, it's a pleasure," he replied, as his colleague closed the doors gently behind him. "You sent for me?" Wexel stepped aside, revealing Felicity, sat at the other end of the desk, her head darting between the details of the room. "Fowler found in the glaze, skulking near an Aurelian deposit." Quinn moved around the desk, donning his spectacles. "Who found her?" "Hayden's cord." "I see." He looked the girl up and down, then turned back to the voice. "Forgive me, but any issues surrounding border security would be better managed by Voice Salazar. This isn't about the border." Wexel looked to the Fowler. "Tell him your name." "Felicity," she answered, greeting Quinn with a nervous smile. He stepped closer. "She knows our tongue?" Wexel kept her eyes to the girl. "Tell him where you're from," Felicity answered. "Blackenrend." "And what lies at Blackenrend?" "Freda." "Curious," said Quinn. Wexel tapped the desk with her nail, the tentacles at her back coiling, irritated by the unknown. She did not enjoy the mystery as Quinn did. "The descendants have been informed. I want the girl examined before they arrive."
With musing expression and with great gentleness, Quinn began his examination. He snapped his fingers and watched as her long ears shot to attention. Next, he drew a series of lines onto multiple pages and asked her to count each set from varying distances. Then he presented a book of colours, asking her to count the amount within each range. To Felicity's chest he placed his ears, noting down the rhythm of her hearts. To her wrist he pressed his fingers and the back of his hand to her forehead. "Could you open your mouth for me, little miss?" he asked. The fowler took a while to consider, then obliged. "Flat teeth," Quinn said with some surprise. "And a green tongue." She clamped her mouth shut. "Bad green?" "Oh, it's nothing to worry about. Kivers are all born with pink tongues. But see, they change colour depending on diet. If you eat a lot of raw meat and blood, it turns black. If you like acidic foods, it'll turn red and blue for alkali. In order to maintain a green tongue, you'd need to eat flora and little else. It's unusual." Felicity cocked her head. "Bad?" "I'm not sure." He looked to her round belly. "You seem to be surviving." The chemicals from her body and hair he detected with tickling antennas, touching them gently to her skin, painting a picture of her journey. Like a computer, he analysed the data. "Marshes, sand, mildew, varieties of bacteria. You've come a long way, haven't you?" Pushing the lenses up his nose. "Sleep-deprived, fatigued, but uncontaminated." His eyes fell upon the mark behind her left ear. "What is that?" said Wexel. "It's an insignia." "Language?" "Of a kind." He turned back. "Whatever it is, it's foreign to me." Quinn was just about to finish his examination when the descendants, Lockett, Sombra, and Winifred, entered the humble reading room, heads held aloft by pride and an ancient dignity. "Where's the girl?" said Lockett, who quickly identified the specimen with a mechanical glare. "Interesting." She did not soften her tone. Sombra nodded, looking to the fowler's soft form. "Very." "Unfortunate," Winifred put in, wrinkling her nose. Quinn pocketed his spectacles and hastened to explain. He spoke with a certain glee often found in fanatics. "Great descendants, it's a pleasure. My initial examination has availed a few curiosities, if I may be permitted to explore them with you." "Of course," said Lockett, sitting with ladylike posture, fingers caressing her chin. The voice motioned to the young subject. "Well, physiologically, she looks to be herbivorous. She possesses flat teeth for the grinding of fruits, berries, and plant life. Her body, given its degree of heft, seems to be well adapted to this input. The girl has no fangs, no claws, no venom, indeed nothing in the aid of hunting. Her only defences would be base senses, possibly her speed. A prey animal." "How is that possible?" said Wexel. "Well, Kivawakian is an umbrella term referring to our relatively spontaneous breed. Here in the city we are beholden to certain physical trends, the work of convergent evolution. We are all faced with the same challenges, the same robust selection pressures. And so naturally, we develop similar tools to solve those challenges. The bipedal form, the quadrupedal form, the hand, the precision grip, fins, claws, tentacles, tails, and so forth. Themes, you might say, natural trends. And so it's possible that our young fowler here came from a culture with very different natural selection pressures, or, looking at her physiology, very few. A peaceful culture." Felicity did not hide her growing confusion, sitting in silence while the mysterious demons discussed her fate, her being. Winifred screwed her brow. "Peaceful? Without conflict," said Lockett, disgust upon her face. "Without competition, without progress. Cultural stagnation, that is the cost of harmony. It explains a great deal." "It would seem so," said Quinn. "She is, well, weak." "And who leads the weak?" Lockett pointed to the soft fowler. "Who oversees the meek prey? I wager they are not without their fangs." "She hasn't said." Sombra entered. "Her dialect. She knows our language, but a crude version of it." He nodded, piecing something together in his mind. "We forged our language in the stone of Blackenren. That tablature remains." Winifred produced a resonant growl. "Stone was not all we left behind." Lockett tapped her nails against the dark wood, looking deep into the eyes of Felicity. "We cannot know for certain, not now, not yet." "Thoughts?" "I want the girl educated," said Lockett, rising to her feet. Let us explore her potential, see what opportunity brings. Then, perhaps, we may learn something. Quinn's face lit. I could see to that. It would be no trouble, a fascinating venture. Sombra? The Grand Architect looked between Lockett and Quinn, Winifred watching from across the table. Yes, he said. No one better. It's set, then it's settled, said Winifred. Keep me abreast of any developments. Lockett moved around the table, closer to Felicity. Anyway, I will leave it there. So I think that is a nice little extract to hook anyone. That's one aspect of it. So, yeah. There's a great many mysteries in the book. Felicity is one of them. So, yeah. Yeah, well, Jesus, how we go? I'm gonna try and have a look at what Wacko sent me and see if that works. The book is coming out this year. It's currently being published as we speak. There will be illustrations bookending each chapter. So you'll be able to get a sort of idea of what the characters look like as we go. Yeah. It's happening. It's going. Before I leave, are there any other characters you'd want to hear extracts of? Because I've got quite a lot of this polish now. I think I'd be pretty in a good position to give a few teasers. Shale. Where is Shale? Where is it? Trying to remember. Well, I know where Shale's introduced. It's just finding it. I think it was in chapter 3. Yeah, it was. Here we go. Okay, I'll read this little extract that has Shale in it. Ludwig turned onto Piper Street, shaped like a warped helix, spiralling, populated with a luscious menu of establishments, doll houses, tailor shops, chop shops, laugh houses, and amidst them all was Ruthergush. The building was a monster, a churning engine of information and dark linguistical venom, a colossus comprised of black brick, framed in metal gates, splashed with windows of elaborate stained glass. The noise it produced was that of an asthmatic titan, howling and huffing, a voice of blistering machinery. Ruthergush was Locketthian in style, an architectural flavour designed by the lady herself. Sombrarian was quaint, idyllic, classic. Winnewardian was cold, hard, audacious, but Locketthian was the rage of industry. These structures were of dark brick, whistling pipes, pumping pistons, clicking cogs, and twisted metal. Logical, ruthless, objective. Ludwig stood before the entrance, took in a deep breath, and entered the ink house. Inside, the guts were revealed. Hot ink was channeled through rattling pipes, delivered to a central mechanical unit like blood to a beating heart, the printing machine. With long, meticulous needles, it stitched the civic tongue across the flesh of white paper, producing towers of inky black fact. Through heat and steam, Ludwig spied Wiley, editor of Ruthergush, leaning against the ghoulish gates framing the printing instrument. Wiley was serpentine, possessing a body 15 feet in length, punctuated with 14 limbs, 6 of which supported his weight. He was mostly made of sunshine yellow, with stripes of cream like a great stocking. His nose shone with a red hue complementing 5 orange eyes. His ears were pointed, 4 in number, dwarfed by 2 brown curling horns. With an oiled mane of tangerine, Wiley seemed a well-groomed fellow, suave even, sporting a long black coat trailing down his body. Clutched between some upper limbs was a freshly printed paper. His eyes were lit with amusement, black lips curled to a sly grin. Now and then he would screw his face, scratching out parts of the writing with golden claws. To his right was Shale, a proud-looking female, teetering on snobbish. She stood at 9 feet, watching Wiley, eager for feedback. With every glance from him, her snake-like face would light, beady eyes of aqua sparkling with anticipation, only to drop when no comments came. Her neck was especially long, and from her head to her lower back, from head to lower back came a glittorial mohawk of hair, and a thorough mix of turquoise and peach. Her arms were long, toned, knuckles resting upon the floor. From her fingertips came ferocious aqua nails, outrageously long, curling behind like the folded wings of a bat, stripped of tissue. Turquoise fur covered her legs and chest, leaving her tail, neck, belly, arms, and freckled face exposed with smooth, pale flesh. Ludwig approached timidly, treading softly. He grew cold, defying the hot breath of steam kissing his flesh. Shale looked to him with civility, nodded gently, and smiled. Ludwig returned an awkward stare, but it quickly faded when the editor looked upon him. Well, there you go. Hi, Molish. I'm reading little extracts for people. So, people are suggesting characters, and I'm reading out little teaser slices for them. I might do a few more. I'm not sure I could do Heisensley because I think it would spoil a bit. So I'm gonna leave Heisensley for now, or Heisen as she is in the book. I apologize to all the Squirrel fans. Well, I'm avoiding characters that like are always linked to sort of like pivotal events, like every chapter with them is part of like some secret or something like that. I can do a bit from Basil and Teaser. I can do a bit from them. Basil and Teaser. Where are they? Don't know if I could read a lot, but I could read some. Okay, so I can read a small bit because again they're sort of edging on some plot details, but it's okay. Basil and Teaser had one book between them, a small, quaint novel named Adventures of Bevis the Wise, which found its home in Basil's left breast pocket. He never left without it, to the point where even Teaser would ask, "Got the book?" before setting off. "Always," Basil would say, tapping his chest. The brown, leathery book was perhaps their only escape, a little window to a world without fear. Teaser would listen while Basil read, and Basil would teach her words and phrases and smile the entire time. Perhaps it was silly, but that little book meant the world to them. Basil read quietly in the corner, lounging shirtless in a den of soft blankets. Teaser sat at the dressing table, powdering her face and chest, humming softly. "Is that the good stuff?" Basil asked, glancing over. "Helps fade the scarring," said Teaser. "Ah, I like your scars. Makes you look mean." "Ha! Mean? Aren't you? To anyone but you, Baz. She smiled at him through the glass. Better get ready, we'll be off soon. I am ready, I just need to throw some stuff on. Brush up a little. Okay, next line is immediately a spoiler, so I can't go on, unfortunately. That's a bit of Basil and teaser. Winifred. I could do Winifred. I could do, yeah, I could do a bit of Winifred. A little bit of Winifred. I've got to try and pick apart someone from the beginning, somewhere that doesn't have. Winnie the Fred. Winnie the Fred. Okay. Let's have a look here. Okay, I'll find Helgen's. Sorry, Winifred's introduction. Okay. Trying to find the best extract. I'm not sure if Holly is canon. I mean, she might pop up. She might. I'm trying to see if Winifred is part of it. Because, again, some of the characters, not all of them, but some of them are always involved in some conversation that is quite direct to the plot. You know what I mean? And Winifred is one of them. So I'm just sort of scanning through it. I'll be making Methuselah's model at some point. I think I've made something of a start, but I haven't made. It's sort of up in the air at the moment. She will be present in the trailer, obviously. Yeah, I think there's a Discord link in the stream. I think maybe. Carmen, is there a Discord link in the stream? I don't know. Okay, Carmen's gonna post the Discord link. Yeah, I think Winifred's talking about something here that's kind of plot related. God damn it, Winifred. Oh, Bamforth and Whittaker. maybe. Hang on. Bamforth and Whitaker. Give me a second here. Again, it's... Hang on. Where is it? Far away. For the gush. Okay, no. No. Fuck. No. The only thing that I can say about Basil and Teaser, Bamforth and Whitaker, is is this little section. Dalton took a polite swig. Not bad. Might be a tough sell. Minstrels are a funny lot. Fortune abounds, dear Captain. Janala's Laugh House just down the street became available. Another acquisition. I have my connections. And Janala? Died. Fell drunk from the bridge. I see. Dalton eyed the other two strangers who ate opposite, their faces hidden by the brims of their hats. One had stark white fur, the other oily black skin. Both were male, and both were dressed in pristine suits, suave and stylish. And, who are your friends? Thalius answered without looking. Since Polly, since Fontaine, let's call them security, walawa. Blackhawls? Two of the finest. As I said, I have my connections. Any trouble since what happened? Ah, is that why you came? Dalton leaned in, hushed his voice. Gotta leave it there, though. Can't go any further than that. Yeah, it's slim pickings for some of them, unfortunately. You'd have to read the book to get the full thing. Harlow could be a good one. Harlow might have a good... Hang on a minute. Where is Harlow? Eyes of the Chemist. On the Make. No. Curious Quinn. Okay, it's before. It's chapter 8. Excuse me. That's chapter 9. Oh, fuck. Oh, Harlow, fuck. Harlow. I don't know. Again, bit spoilery. I don't think so. Maybe a little bit. I can read it a little bit. I'll have to stop abruptly though, like mid-sentence for this. The town of Old Frankby could be summarized with one word: Locketchian. This was a place weighed with industry, a place of dark brick, hardy metal, hot machinery, and sophistication. Beauty to the Kivik eye. Hang on. Let me actually read ahead on this particular line here. Yeah, that's fine. Beautiful to the Kivik eye, for it represented that immutable quality for which they all yearned: functionality. Understand, work was no foul thing to these animals. It was their greatest pleasure, the justification for their existence, the measure of pride. To Locket, being needed was the root of a life, the truest anchorage. To be wanted was decoration, baubles for the branches. Whenever Harlow entered Old Frankby, a great abundance of emotion washed over her. Wherever she looked, she saw his influence. Through every market, in every nook, Yeshua was felt in the town, his delicious circus shining upon the distant lake, his ideas flowing through the streets, shaping others, inspiring awe. It brought to Harlow a wonderful sense of pride, but also frustration. Hearing his name and the praise heaped upon him, praise heaped upon him by strangers who could only guess at his wonders. Hearing his name, the praise heaped upon him by strangers who could only guess at his wonders, ignited in Harlow something territorial. Dressed humbly. Oh. Yeah, okay. I'll skip that. I'll just skip it. The doll wore ruby red trousers, fastened to her shoulders by black suspenders. Below the belt was a clean white shirt, hanging open at the collar, displaying the desired amount of chest. This costume was beyond style. It was calculation. The streets were lined with smooth cobblestone, black grass breaking through the gaps. Peppered across the town were ancient trees from the morbid fields of Blackenrend, twisted and coiled, dark things that bore no leaves but the nastiest of thorns. Some stray flowers grew like weeds in many of the gated gardens, though they were more akin to graveyards haunted by shades of pumpkin and vampiric purple. Though somewhat gothic, the town bustled with life, the hollering of commerce, the hum of conversation. Old Frankby was host to millions of individuals, most being of a local trade. However, no matter their business or background, Harlow had a certain eye for weakness. All carry their own private vulnerabilities, but discovering them was the work of dolls. She knew every perfume, every style, every accent, every cadence, every rhythm. In each body, Harlow saw black lust fighting for control, clawing its way to the surface, and she was its staunchest ally. And so, spoiler! There you go. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, there's some. Is that my phone? Hello? What the? Sorry, what? What are you saying? What are you saying to me? Yeah. Yeah. When do you wanna go on Elden Ring? It's about 8. Yeah, alright. Yeah, I did. Did you like it? I like the Darth Vader bit, but the rest of it was just as ridiculous. Yeah, well, I'll talk to you about it a bit later then. I'll call you in an hour. Alright, bye. Right. Okay. Sorry, yeah. Doing a second playthrough of Elden Ring, which is pretty good. I don't think the combat is as tight as Bloodborne or even Dark Souls 3. Maybe that's just because I like faster combat. But to be honest, I think the main thing with Elden Ring is some of the builds and the balancing is ridiculous. Yeah. Right. Okay. So yeah, Snake. Okay. So are we all happy with the little extracts I've read? Because I think that's enough.
You know, there's plenty to be discovered in yeah. The book will be available wherever it's being published. It's going to be available all over the place: ebook, paperback, hardback. Release date is this year. Definitely this year. It is. It's set. I won't announce it just yet, but it is set. So I hope you enjoyed the little extracts. I'm very happy with it. Obviously, it's going through copy editing now. When you write a book, when you write anything that's like longer than 10 pages, you know, obviously you get typos and things spelt wrong, autocorrect, all these nightmarish things, and as you spend, when you spend years on a project, you become blind to a lot of its technical errors. So it's being copy edited right now by a professional team of editors who are going to go through it and make sure that it's mechanically clean. I've recently got finished with the final draft, which is with the publisher now. I'm very happy with how it reads. Reading it now on stream felt nice, felt organic. There weren't any parts that I thought, oh, I could change that. I hope you guys enjoyed them for what they were. I know they were brief and I know they were out of context, but you know, I'm happy. Helgen here. Well, this you fucking assholes have failed me, haven't you? You know, I came on here to get your help with rigging Snelgen, and with, you know, what have you done? You've left me hanging. You know, oh, anyway, listen, I'll figure it out. I'm sure there's a way. Wacko did send me a video. So Helgen will she'll do something, right? You know. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, why don't I end with a Helgen extract? I think I could end. I'll end with an extract from Helgen. Where is she? I'll end. We started with Helgen. We'll end with Helgen. You know. Okay, let's end with this little extract. Now, we've heard it before on the with the animatic, but this is the refined final version, more or less. So let's end with a nice bit of Helgen here. Book is coming out this year, at some point. So yeah, here we go. Helgen always looked up, despite her size. When addressing those of a lower station, she would raise herself high upon her snaking tail and gaze proudly over them, as if to dismiss their existence entirely. When addressing any of a higher station, the Gorgon Whisper would lower herself so they might not feel so dwarfed. When addressing this mass of body and tail, of muscle and power, one would rarely meet her eyes. But when those ponds of electric blue did shift downward, there came with it a sense of validity. Helgen, a ruthless, freezing mind, just looked you in the eye. She was an economist, a whisper of macroeconomics to be specific, a government branch that concerned itself with large-scale factors like trade differentials, material distribution, and city-wide productivity. The bigger picture was always her concern, and she often left the little details to the little folk, those below, as she called them. Helgen, with her dainty face and plump lips, would seduce reluctant traders, lace her words with sweet venom, and all in the name of good business. She would weave her words through stressing minds and squeeze the blood from shoddy trade like a python to its prey. While not a public figure, Helgen was close behind the curtain of
Helgen was close behind the curtain of that economic machine that thundered sleeplessly through the dark. Imagined by Lockett, certainly, but upheld by oil and chain and sweat and ink, and that was Helgen's practice. In truth, the dyeing trades needed not fear her slithering approach. She was professional, and though her signature marked the liquidation of many humble establishments, their owners long removed, or at least it was a dispassionate hand. No, Helgen saved her envy, cunning, and grand schemes for those who lorded over her, those who pulled at her strings. Those below needed not fear her wrath, for Helgen always looked up to those above. And there we go. There we have it. Is Sombra still your favourite character? Kenny. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I don't fucking know. Sombra was definitely my first character. Well, I think it was my first character ever. My favorite, it's a toss up between too many to mention. There's a lot, so yeah. Anyway, I am gonna leave it there. I will check some of the videos and tutorials that have been sent to me. Thank you to anyone who have. I'm sure I can do it. I'm sure there's a way. I'm sure there's a path I can take. Oh, is armor considered taboo for Kivuakis? Well, some of them wear like metal. They have metalwork laced into their clothing. So, I mean, armor like armor for fighting. Yeah, probably. You know, it's not good, is it? The Yolsh, their law enforcers, are naked by design. You know, they only wear certain oils and body paints. It's part of their pride. It's not you know, taboo or anything to have no clothes on, but clothes are there obviously to accommodate documents and items, and you know, to frame and present the body in a more interesting way. It's an art form. Armor, though, like with the utility of protecting you from harm, would probably be considered a bit shit. And there's a reason it hasn't caught on and doesn't exist in the city. Will there be an audiobook available? Yes, at some point. Yes, certainly. I imagine so. I would like to do a full audiobook with music and full voice acting, sound effects, just like a great experience. You know, yeah. They don't use they use certain tools like they don't use swords or bow and arrows and shit like that. They don't have that. But they use certain tools to, you know, obviously build machines and everything like that. Anything that they cannot use their bodies for, they'll have a tool for it. But they don't use weapons. They don't use swords or guns or anything like that. Again, Lockett has built a city of natural, cultural, and industrial selection. You know, you've got to really stand up to the mark. Hey Sam, hope you're doing well. Look forward to see your book in Osgoi. Good luck. Thank you. The MZ Fit G MRS Misfit Gamers. Thank you very much. As for Helgen, well, if we turn up the hair count, maybe we can get a more modest look. May okay, I'm running a risk here. So hopefully the hair is just about thick enough and just about in the right place. Okay? God damn it. Okay, right, well, I made an attempt was made. Yeah, it will be thicker in the final animation, but oh fuck, maddening music. Thanks. I've been a lurker since the beginning. I just love your work. Thank you very much. I'll put that toward the Helgen animation rendering, you know. That'll go a long way, thanks. Jesus. Cheers for that. It is much appreciated. But yeah, this shouldn't be too far off now. If I have to animate it piece by piece every segment, then fine, so be it. This little animation that I did on stream, you know, I'm confident it can look good. And if I have to just animate the tail little by little, you know what? Fine. So be it. Emily Infinite. Okay, thank you. Love your work in animations. Keep it up. Wonderful work. Thank you very much. I am going to end the stream now before I get too tired. So, yeah. Thanks, Helgen. Where are your eyelashes at? There they are. Look at her. Well, there she is. Just a big, long snake woman. See you around, everyone. Thanks for... Oh, hang on. Fuck, I look like shit. See you around, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We learned absolutely fuck all together. Like, we went nowhere. But at least I got to read out some of the book. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy it when it does come out. Helgen's animation test will be going forward. I will find a way. And, yeah. Bye, Molish. Thank you very much for popping in. Molish is a great artist, by the way, who's done some concept art based on my book descriptions, all of which you can find on Twitter. And Lucy LED is cool too. Again, great artwork. Solid, you know. I think, yeah. Egg. Nice. I'll end with a nice bit of advice for everyone, right? Hi, Carmen. Carmen's great too. You might say Carmen's the best flop, you know? What does that mean? I don't know. I don't fucking know. Yeah. Carmen, we're gonna watch Unbreakable with Janessa. You know? It's gonna happen. I'm gonna end with a final piece of advice, ladies and gentlemen. You know, sometimes you've got to run